Welcome, folks, to round 4 of the Formula One World Championship, which is currently held at San Marino in the Imola circuit. And in the last race, we finished 8th place in Australia, scoring 1 point for the SamuraiT team, which was to be probably one of my weakest races. But for now, let's check the point standings. Fernando Alonso is dominating the championship at the moment, 5 points ahead of Felipe Massa, with Fisichella's 3rd place with 18. Barrichello's dropped 2 places down, and Michael Schumacher's in 5th. With Sato 6th with 7 points. Montoya did not score once again after being involved in the incident with Takuma Sato once again. And let's check the Constructors' Championship. It's so far going to be a positive reading for Renault, who's 9 points ahead of Ferrari, with 12 points down the road is Honda. McLaren yet to be on double figures, but that should change. But for now, with the San Marino Grand Prix, it's going to be a Ferrari track, so let's James Allen take it away, as we're going to talk about qualifying.
Welcome to qualifying at the legendary San Marino circuit. Session 1, the first knockout session, is upon us, so without further delay, let's see who survives the first chop and who's relegated to the back of the grid. It's Thiago Monteiro who is first out on circuit.
Cheers, James, and well, since we're at the Super Aguri, I believe we're going to go out as well to try and put in the lap early and try and perform well as well. So, San Marino 2006 was the last time it was held in Imola because, well, I think they just, for 2 Italian tracks, it seems a bit unfair on the Formula One. Well, then again, Germany had 2 tracks as well with European, but I think Birdie ended ties with Imola's circuit to add more circuits later on in the Formula One calendar. But personally, San Marino was actually one of my favourite races because of the fact that it's one of my stronger tracks in video game format, and it's one of my favourites. And plus, it's always up there, minus the fact that the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix was the first one that I watched. So yeah, we all know what happened in the that dark weekend of Formula One with Ratzenberger's death, Barrichello's being unable to race because he had that serious crash, and then Senna died on the race day after crashing out in Tamburello after his brakes stopped working. So yeah, that wasn't really a good time for me to get into Formula One, but I don't regret watching that race because of the fact that as a kid, you're not really wary of all of this. You just love the cars and whatnot. So, yeah, when you watch the crash, you obviously gasp and like, oh no, but I don't regret it. But the lap to beat is 125.373 from Jacques Villeneuve. We are set to beat it because it's really easy, and we go pole position with that lap, but it's early into the session, so I don't see us saying, what the hell's that, smoke? Did someone run wide or did their engine blow up? I don't know because the car's disappeared, but we're going to return to garage. We're only going to do 1 lap here because I'm kind of happy with it, and I think that should be enough for us to qualify into Q2. And it is.
We'll continue in a few moments with the second knockout session, where we'll decide grid positions 16 to 11.
And Ralf Schumacher is the casualty as he starts 17th. The rest are just usual suspects. So we're going to be going into Q2, and I believe it's time for us to have another lap. So here you are, you join us here for our very first lap. Obviously, everyone's done a lap apart from us because we made a mistake and we took a illegal. We cut the chicane in the second session, which is pretty unfortunate for us. So yeah, this is our third attempt. Sorry. This is our 3rd attempt in trying to cut a lap. Well, not cut a lap, do a lap. Oh god, Samurai, you're really rusty, you can tell. But yeah, with Europe next in Nürburgring, we're definitely going to put that up next week for upload. So keep that in mind. I'm definitely excited to be recording Formula 1 again, considering I've had a busy schedule as it is. The reason why Formula 1 wasn't out on time as well, because of the fact that I've been busy decorating my house. I've said that in my streams and whatnot, so yeah, I do apologise. But next week will be European Grand Prix, because the house is nearly, well, the top part of the house is done, but there's still more to do. But I will try my best to bring a European Grand Prix for the next week, and hopefully we can finish the house by the end of February or even before then. But sorry for now. We're going to get 8th. We're 3 turns quicker than Trulli, and Heifeld is close to the danger zone. So that's a very good lap. Enough for me anyway. And let's see where it's going to put us.
We'll continue with session 3 of qualifying in a few moments.
Well, the midfield is out. That's the usual midfield runners, and we got ninth place, so that's very good. We're in Q3 for the 4th time, so we're 100% on the qualifying, which is good. And well, obviously, this is the session where we're going to have the session, obviously, where you have race fuel in it, so our car's going to be much heavier. So you join us on our final qualifying lap attempt, because off screen I did 2 attempts. One was again, I cut the chicane, so it was invalid. The second one, as you can see, we're currently 9th place, as you can see on the lap delta above on the right hand side. But we're hopefully going to do a better lap than that, because we don't want to start in the midfield, because the midfield is where incidents occur very often. So we want to be a bit up the grid, like around 5th place. San Marino is one of my stronger tracks to put in a solid qualifying lap, as you saw with David Coulthard in my race weekend one. Unfortunately, I didn't win that race, but I did do very well by finishing 2nd. So I do I do fancy my chances in actually getting a podium here if I do everything right. And obviously, I do have a one-stop strategy in mind. The second sector is a very positive one, as it's nearly a full second up on our personal best. So we're definitely putting in one great competitive lap time here. I don't know if it's going to be faster than Fisichella's, because we were 1/10 slow on Fisichella's time, so I don't think it's going to beat Fisichella, but hopefully it will be competitive enough to be up the grid, like at least 5th place. I'm aiming for 5th, so let's see. We're heading into the final 2 turns of the lap, and we do 1:23.415, and that's put us in 3rd place. Would you believe it?
So there we have it. From 10th to pole, the grid order looks like this. Great qualifying session. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you have too. Looking at the grid lineup, there seems to be a number of intriguing battles waiting to be resolved on race day. We look forward to sharing it with you. Goodbye.
I'm very pleased with 3rd place and out qualifying majority of people. But for now, I'm going to make Martin Brundle take over, because Martin Brundle is going to talk about the history of Imola and the circuit. So, Martin Brundle, take it away.
Live from the Autodromo Enzo e Dino Ferrari in the small town of Imola for the San Marino Grand Prix. 4.9 kilometres with 17 corners in all, Imola is situated close to Bologna in northern Italy. It's a wonderfully atmospheric circuit named after the late Enzo and his son Dino Ferrari, whose Maranello headquarters are just a short drive away. The Tifosi are here as usual in their thousands, hoping for a Ferrari victory. Thankfully it's dry here, but the temperature has dipped somewhat. Lining up on pole is Fernando Alonso. Next on the front row is Giancarlo Fisichella. 3rd is Takuma Sato. 4th is Kimi Räikkönen. 5th is Michael Schumacher. 6th is Rubens Barrichello. Button is 7th. 8th is Felipe Massa.
Thank you, Martin. Well, for Ferrari, this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Michael Schumacher 5th place, a massive 8th. So the Tifosi definitely want to see their drivers up there on a podium or even win the race. Michael Schumacher tends to turn up for this race, so I'm expecting a Michael Schumacher challenge. But we're starting 3rd place, and when the 5 lights go out, it's time to go racing in Imola. And it's 5 lights now. We're hitting the button on the acceleration, and it's go, 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 go! And it's great start by Takuma Sato, and he's ready to pass Fisichella, and he's already passed Fisichella, and he's chasing Fernando Alonso heading into turn 1. And Alonso's really running slow here into contact. No, Sato's front wing is still intact. Luckily for him. And no puncture for Fernando Alonso. Also lucky for him. But we're heading into turn 2 and 3 of this corner of San Marino. And Sato fancies his chances as he's ready to dive bomb him and contact again. I think Alonso's got some damage. I'm not too sure. But he's still running 2nd place with Sato taking the lead within 4 turns of this race. Amazing stuff by the Super Aguri driver. Like I said, I do fancy my chances here at Imola, because it's one of my stronger tracks where I can do great qualifying laps and hopefully push in a great competitive race. So it's lap 1 and it's the 2nd sector, and Alonso is 2 tenths behind Sato. So Sato is not really escaped yet. With Renault's straight line speed and power of the Renault engine, more superior to the Honda one, we're going to expect Fernando Alonso to get past Sato very soon. unless he's going to be very frustrated. He's stuck behind the Super Guru. Speaking of Fernando Alonso passing, he's almost got it. Move stuck, and Sato has kept his place very well and defended it. And my commentary's all over the place. It just sums up my adrenaline being so high because of the great first lap by Sato. And it's 8 attempts now. Sato leads Fernando Alonso, but the contact between the two drivers, they better be careful because it might lead to one of them being damaged or both of them retiring in case.
The field looks like this. First is Sato. He's up from third. Alonso is second. He was in the lead earlier. Fisichella third. 1 place down from his grid position. Fourth is Raikkonen. Michael Schumacher fifth. Massa sixth. Barrichello is seventh. And Button eighth.
Thank you for the places, James. I kept quiet there so James Allen can tell the positions. It's only original that I do that because James Allen wanted to tell everybody the places. You can only see the top 5, so it's only original James Allen just chimes in the positions because I don't know who's 6th, 7th or 8th. But now I do. Button's in 8th with Barrichello 6th and 7th. I totally forgot who it was. But sorry about that. I'm just high on adrenaline, so don't blame me. We're currently 4 attempts up fast ahead of Fernando Alonso. I was going to say 4 attempts faster. Oh, you're 4 attempts ahead, silly. But yeah, my commentary is all over the place. But when you are racing and you're commentating and when you're watching the video, you want to be having your adrenaline very high, even if you do Murrayisms where you make mistakes and where you add the wrong words in and do all that jazz. It's pretty fun. And we've set the fastest lap of the race, well, obviously, because the first lap is we're off the line and it's not very fast. So 123.11 something was the fastest lap.
Raikkonen is in with a shout here.
Looks like he'll be first into the pits. I would think he'd be going for a short field to save time. Fisichella beats his opponent in sector 1. The gap is now 1.6 seconds.
So Martin Brundle and James Allen were talking about the battle between Kimi Raikkonen and Giancarlo Fisichella. It's a battle for 3rd place, which Kimi Raikkonen is 1.6 seconds down on the road against the Renault. And the Renault Power Renault obviously is very superior to the McLaren in this game. And McLaren has really started poorly, so they really need to step up their game if they want to catch up. And Kimi Raikkonen has caught up because he's now 0.6 tenths of a second behind Fisichella.
The gap has closed to 0.6 seconds.
Thanks for that, Martin. I just said that, but I feel like I just interrupted you. But it's my commentary as well, so I gotta chime in whenever I want to, and I gotta let them chime in. But maybe it's better. I'll leave that to you. Do you want me to commentate over them, or do you want them to chime in and me chiming? It's like a 3-person commentary booth. I don't think I can fit in the commentary place, so I'm just illegally in my own commentary booth while James and Martin share their one. I think we've had a retirement because there's debris everywhere. There's an incident. I think someone has retired because someone is in the pit lane, so we are down 1 driver, and I think there's Yuji Ide that's retired, my teammate. So unfortunately for him, he's out.
Fourth is Raikkonen. Michael Schumacher fifth. I can see the McLaren mechanics out in the pit lane.
Raikkonen has started to pick up the pace again now. He's not willing to let this gap get any bigger. The gap has closed to 0.6 seconds.
Thanks for that, Martin. So yes, the McLaren mechanics are out, and it looks like Kimi Raikkonen has been lightly fueled. I don't know why he's lightly fueled, considering he's only 4th place. This isn't really going to help his race, if I'm honest with you, because of the fact that everyone else is on different strategies. I'm pitting probably a few laps in time, so around 3 laps, 2 to 3 laps, and Kimi Raikkonen is pitting in this lap. It's pretty crazy for him to pull off that kind of strategy. I don't think it's going to pay off because it's too early to be pulling any pit stops. It's going to be stuck behind a lot of traffic. So that's why I didn't really do early pit stops. That's why I do kind of late pit stops where I do everyone pits a lap earlier than me, or sometimes I pit the same time as them because I want to be battling for points, you know, regularly. And Fernando Alonso has made contact with Takuma Sato, as you can see on the wheel, which Takuma Sato was just weaving a bit to the left as Fernando hit him, trying to overtake him. And speaking of Fernando, Kimi Raikkonen's in the pits because his time's gone. Alonso's still behind Sato with Fisichella 3rd and Schumacher 4th, and Massa's moved up to 5th after Kimi Raikkonen's gone in the pit lane. Thanks for that, engineer. Our pit stop is next lap, so that's everything's gone as planned, and our first sector time is 8 tenths up on our personal best, so we're currently setting the fastest time in the race so far. We do have the fastest lap currently with a 122. Not 122, 123.146 I believe it was now that I remember. And again, we are fast in the second sector by a tenth. So we're definitely putting our personal bests in before we even go into the pit lane. And we're 0.9 seconds ahead of Fernando Alonso. So we've pulled out a decent gap, but we want to make it even bigger. But so far, this is on course to be the fastest lap of the race from Takuma Sato with the Super Aguri of all cars. But it's been a very good lap by Sato here, and it's going to be the fastest lap. Let's see. It's a 1:21.8. Yes, indeed. What a great lap by Sato, and his pit stop is this lap. What a brilliant lap that is. And Fernando Alonso has gone into pit lane. And we're going past turn 1, 2, and 3 here. And as we're heading into turn 4, there's 17 turns. So when I said we overtook at turn 4, that was a lie. And no!
Michael Schumacher third. He's up from fourth. We can see the mechanics preparing. Oh, for sake.
I don't believe it. The Honda's engine has blown up on me. Unbelievable stuff here. We're out of the race thanks to engine failure. Again! We are in 4 races into the season and we're already going into our 3rd engine, heading into the 5th race.
The gap is now extended to 28
Unbelievable.
seconds.
We are out. We were leading the race and we are out. I don't know what to say. I picked this car for a reason, and now I realize this team is powered by Honda, and look what's happening to me. A 2nd engine failure. I don't believe
Raikkonen has
it.
started to pick up the pace again now. He's not willing to let this gap get any bigger. He's reduced the gap by another 1/10 of a second. And that concludes the first European race of the season. San Marino has played host to many great races over the years, and this has been no exception. It just remains for me to say goodbye and just remind you that we'll be back in 14 days' time at the Nürburgring in Germany for the European Grand Prix. Thank you and goodbye.
Fisichella comes into the pits.
Well, the Tifosi got what they wanted. It's a Ferrari win, and it's Michael Schumacher who's got that vital win. And Fernando Alonso did not even finish. He's retired. Oh my goodness, and Kimi Raikkonen's been lapped. Like I said, his strategy was completely wrong. And he's been lapped. So a miserable time for McLaren. But Massa takes the lead in the championship with Fisichella on 26. Alonso's dropped down 2 places from 25. Michael Schumacher's now on 24. So those were vital points for Michael Schumacher and that vital win. And Coulthard has scored points, and so has Nico Rosberg. So Montoya's also scored points by the looks of it as well. So Williams is off the mark, and so are Red Bull. Great stuff for David Coulthard and Nico Rosberg respectively for finally getting points on the board for their teams. So here's constructor standings, and Ferrari has closed the points down to Renault to 1 point. And Honda's down in 3rd at 27. McLaren scored 4 more points from Montoya. Subaru Aguri scored 9 because Sato's retirement. Williams and Red Bull finally off the mark. And only Toro Rosso and Midland are the only teams that have not scored yet this season. So it's only 4 rounds in and 9 teams have scored points. This has been a great start of the season. And it's only race 4. And Michael Schumacher, Alonso, Fisichella and Massa are all in it for the title race. As it's 2 points separating 1st to 4th. And, well, 5th place and 6th, well, 6th place is nowhere near, but yes, 1st and 4th, only 2 points separate them, so that's amazing. But unfortunately for us, it's another retirement and another disappointment. And the next race is in Nürburgring, and that will be next week. I still can't believe we retired again for an engine failure. It's only the 5th race of the season, and we are running on our 3rd engine. So that means we're running out of engines, and I don't know if they do penalty system in this game, but man, we're already down on 2 engines. My goodness, this Honda team better step up because man, we got a lot of work to do, and my engine can't afford to blow up in smoke again. And Nürburgring's not really my strongest circuit, so I don't see myself scoring points. So the struggle's ready to begin, but I'm looking forward to racing, and I'm looking forward to the struggle, because I am in the back mark car. But anyway, this is the San Marino Grand Prix wrapped up in disappointment. Yes, I might not be sounding it, but yes, I am plunged into the depths of despair in disappointment, because I've been let down by my engine again. But this is SamuraiT-X signing out. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next race of the Nürburgring. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye.